Hi boys and girls, today we're going to go over lesson 11 and this one is about distance, rate, and time, okay? What I want you guys to focus on is the formula. Distance equals rate times time, okay? D means distance, obviously, R is rate, and T is time. Now, when we talk about distance, it's how far someone has traveled, how many miles it took them to go from their house to the library, okay? So we're measuring distance. If you travel from your house to Orlando, that would be distance. Rate is how fast you're traveling, okay? So maybe you're going from your house to Disney and you're driving at 55 miles an hour, okay? So rate is the speed. And T symbolizes time. It can be with minutes, seconds, hours, days, or weeks. Anything that has to do with time, how long something takes. Now, what we're doing here is substituting each letter for the corresponding number that goes with each letter according to the word problem in the scenario that they're giving you. Okay, looking at number 1, for example. A truck continuously travels at an average speed of 60 miles per hour. How long does it take the truck to travel 240 miles? So obviously, like what I explained to you earlier, the distance is how far they're traveling, okay? And in the question it says, how long does it take the truck to travel 240 miles? So that's your distance. They're giving you the mileage. So that D would be replaced with 240. Okay, you're gonna copy everything the same, equals. The rate is how fast they're traveling, and in the word problem it tells you that they travel at an average speed of 60 miles an hour. So R would be replaced with 60, and we're solving for T, time. Okay, so when we write this out, 240 equals 60 times T. Yes? Yeah. Okay, we're pretty much working backwards, okay? They want you to figure out what number can be replaced for the T, the time, so that when you multiply it with 60, it would give you 240, okay? Or you can work backwards. You can divide 240 divided by 60. What I suggest is ignore the zeros for now. What number times 6 would be 24? Obviously, 4, okay? And the zeros cancel each other out. Remember, I taught you if they have an even amount of zeros, they can cancel each other out accordingly. So T would be 4, and to answer the question appropriately, how long does it take the truck to travel? We will write 4 hours, okay? Looking at number 2, let's set up the formula. You always want to work with the formula so that you know the order. Very important. A boat travels 3,600 meters in 12 minutes. What is a boat's speed? Okay, so we're solving for speed, which is this guy right here. Okay, so we're not going to know what this is. We know the distance and we know the time. They traveled 3,600 miles and they did it in 12 minutes. So we're going to put 12. Okay, same thing as a first example. What number has to be in this blank so that when we multiply these two together, you have 3,600. Now, in this case, I cannot cancel out zeros because there are no zeros in 12. Okay, so we're going to have to just ignore these for now. What number times 12 is 36? That would be 3. Okay, and put back those zeros in here. Okay, if they don't get canceled out, they have to be put back into the factor or the quotient, wherever they would belong. So to answer this question properly, we would say 300 meters per minute. Okay, because in here they're telling us meters in minutes, so they want us to say the speed in meters per minute. Moving on to number 3. A cyclist travels 7 hours at a speed of 11 miles per hour. How far does a cyclist travel? So here they don't give us a distance because the question says how far do they travel. So remember that when it has to do with distance is how far you're going, the mileage, and so forth. So when we write our formula for this one, we don't know what D is. We know the R and the T. I shouldn't write that one. Okay, let's go back to the word problem. 7 hours, that has to do with time, right? Because we're giving you an amount of time. So we're going to replace that in for T. Now, what would be the rate? Okay, how fast are they going? Well, they're going 11 miles per hour, so that would be our rate. So 11 will go here. Okay, this is it's the easiest one. Obviously, all we have to do is 11 times 7, and that would give us your distance. So 77, but 77 what? Okay, we're talking about miles, right? So how far does a cyclist travel? 77 miles would be the way to answer the question properly. Okay, now when you get down here to numbers 4 through 9, remember your worksheet is going to be a little bit different. This is something, they're different questions, but the same exact format. For example, number 4. This is the same thing as a word problem, just without words. They're giving you the distance, they're giving you the rate, you're solving for time. So we're going to write the formula the same way and fill in the values accordingly. So they give us distance of 300. They give us the rate of 2. Okay, notice how I always try to line up D, distance, R, 2, time, and then the rest. So I'm solving for this guy right here, okay? So what times 2 would give you 300? You can divide if you want to. So let's practice the division because there's a lot of zeros here. And this is something that I remember struggling when I was teaching it to you guys. It was something that we struggled with. Okay, 2 goes into 3, 1 time, subtract 1, bring down the 0. 2 into 10, 5 times. Okay, now here is where I remember seeing the trouble. When you bring down this 0, remember that you cannot have an empty place value up here in your quotient, okay? Finish the division. 2 goes into 0, 0 times, and then I would be left with nothing. Once I have, oops, this isn't right. Once I have nothing to bring down, then I'm done writing numbers up here in the quotient, okay? Very important that you remember that. The answer is not 15. 15 times 2 is 30 if you were to check your answer. And your dividend is 300, okay? So if you just put 15, it's gonna be wrong. You need that 0 there, okay? And that's pretty much it. These are just filling in the blanks for the equation, and the rest is, they're pretty self-explanatory. Just fill in the blanks and figure out what order you have to go in, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That one was distance. For number 5, you would just multiply these two because rate times time to get distance. Here's the same thing we did in number 4. You can, what times 20 would be 400, or divide 400 divided by 20. It's just make sure you write the formula so you know what order you're going in. Am I multiplying? Am I dividing? Okay. Okay, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. Hope you have a great day, and if you have any questions, please email me. Have a great day, guys.